Good morning, dear students, and we are on the topic chapter number 9, that is respiration in organism. You know that all the living organisms need energy to do work. Okay, energy is required for performing various functions of our life. Now, as the car needs fuel like diesel or petrol to run, okay, we also need energy to perform various functions such as nutrition, excretion, growth, movement, transportation, reproduction. You know, children, that without energy, organisms cannot do any work. You are reading, you need energy. You are playing, you need energy. You are eating, you need energy. You require energy even even when you are sleeping. Okay, so even when you are sleeping, you require energy. Eating, running, doing physical activities, everything require energy. Okay, so all the activities require energy. But from where does it come from? From where do living beings get energy? Very simple question. From the lower classes, Siddhi Sharma, right? Food, Pankaj, right? So in the lower classes also you studied that food is required, okay, to obtain energy. Is actually the food that gives us energy? The energy come from the food, yes. The energy come from the food you eat. It is for this reason that your parents insist that you have to eat regularly. Okay. Now, the food that we are eating is having certain chemicals that has to be converted, okay, into the stored food is converted into energy. So in this chapter, you will learn about the process which is called as respiration that converts energy stored in the food into a form which the body can use it. Okay, so the energy that is stored in the food, it has to be converted into such a form that your body can utilize it. As the car requires petrol or diesel, our body also requires food. And you know that the complex food has to be digested into the simpler food particles. In chapter number 2, you have studied about the uh, you know digestion, nutrition in human beings, where you have seen that in our mouth, the digestion begins in our mouth itself, and the food is broken down into the simpler food particles in the process of digestion. Okay, now our body engine runs on the glucose. The food that is digested, whatever the food that you are eating carbohydrates, you are eating proteins, you are eating vitamins, you are eating minerals, okay, you are eating fats. So whatever the food you are eating is converted It is digested first. It is digested into glucose. And this simple glucose, in the presence of oxygen, will gives you energy. So glucose plus oxygen, okay, will gives you energy. Energy is produced while glucose is breaking down. Okay, this is a type of chemical reaction. So energy is produced while glucose break down into the chemical reaction. So where does this glucose break down and where the energy is released? So the food that is break down, it is break down in the cells. You know that your body is made up of millions of cells. Okay, so the glucose or the food is break down in the cell. Yes, okay. Whatever you are eating, children, directly the food is not giving you the energy. Whatever the food you are eating, the food first digested into the simpler substances. Okay, yeah. The food that you are eating is converted into the simpler substances like glucose. Now this glucose will break down again in the presence of oxygen to release energy, and this energy is used by you to do various activities, right? So I hope that you should know that what you will be going to learn in this chapter. So how you will define respiration. Children, respiration is the process in which the food is broken down in the presence of in the presence as well as in the absence of oxygen to release energy. Okay, and the energy that is released is in the form of ATP. ATP is nothing, adenosine triphosphate. It is energy currency. Carbon dioxide is released, okay, in the cells, that is respiration. So the respiration is the breaking down of food in presence or absence of oxygen to release energy in the form of ATP and CO2 in the cell of the organism. That is called as respiration. Okay, you will learn the different types of respiration as well. That's aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration in the upcoming slides. Now, why do living organisms respire? Why do living organisms respire? So you just see this respiration cycle. You know, children, in order to maintain its life, in order to move, to excrete, to grow, to reproduce, an organism must be supplied with a lot of energy. The ultimate source of energy, children, is sunlight. You know, okay? The final or the ultimate source from where all of us are receiving energy directly or indirectly is sunlight. Green plants, green plants convert this energy during the process of photosynthesis, right? So you know that the photosynthesis in which the sunlight is used to produce food by the plants. The green plants convert this energy during the photosynthesis into chemical energy in the form of synthesized food. This food is stored in the plants. Animals, including humans, obtain energy by consuming food that is made by the green plants. So we all are depending on the plants. Okay, so the energy that is stored here as in food molecules, or the energy stored in the food molecules, is released when they break down due to the oxidation reaction. Okay, so this process requires oxygen. Breaking down of this glucose requires oxygen, and it occurs in every cell, every single cell of your body. This applies to everybody, like animals as well as plants. So here you can see in this diagram, children, that plants produces oxygen. Plants take carbon dioxide, they produce oxygen, okay, as a byproduct of photosynthesis. This oxygen is taken up by animals, living organisms to break down the sugar molecules. They release carbon dioxide again in the atmosphere. The carbon dioxide is again taken by the plants to make the sugar molecule. So this is how the respiration cycle maintains in the environment. So the process of breakdown of the food in the cell with release of energy is called as respiration, or it is called as cellular respiration. Children, respiration occurs all the time as long as an organism lives. Okay, so it is the index of life. No respiration means no life. Now, children, let me introduce the type of respiration. What are the types of respiration? There are two types of respiration. There are two types of respiration. Aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic and anaerobic. So what is this aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Let's talk about aerobic respiration first. When the breakdown of food substances like glucose, when it is take place in the presence of oxygen with release of large amount of energy, it is called as aerobic respiration. In this process, carbon dioxide and water are released as a waste product. So here you can see, means aerobic means involving air, involving oxygen. Aerobic respiration is a type of respiration that takes place in the presence of oxygen. Here you can see the food plus glucose, food, or you can say the glucose in the presence of oxygen. It is converted into energy. Carbon dioxide and water is also released. Most of the animals, children, including humans also, respires aerobically. Okay, so the term aerobes is used to describe such organisms. We are aerobes because we require oxygen to break down our food. Now, what is anaerobic respiration? What is this? Opposite of aerobic, that is anaerobic. Anaerobic respiration is the breakdown of food substances with a release of small amount of energy in absence of oxygen. In absence of oxygen. Okay, so certain organisms like bacteria, yeast, these organisms, they are called as anaerobes. Okay, so in absence of oxygen, glucose is break down into alcohol and carbon dioxide with release of comparatively less energy. Okay, so the equation of anaerobic respiration will be like glucose in absence of oxygen will be break down to release sometimes lactic acid, alcohol, energy is released, but energy, the release of energy is less. Okay. Now, anaerobic respiration is aerobic respiration is more efficient than anaerobic one, as more energy is produced during aerobic respiration. Okay, in anaerobic respiration, less energy is produced. You know, children, that people under 30 years of age, like us, takes and double the amount of oxygen as compared to the people aged 80 or above? This is your question. You have to answer me afterward, that why the people under 30 years of age takes in double the amount of energy as compared to the people aged 80 or above. Okay, so I hope you are now familiar with the terms, that is aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Now, when you are doing hard work, if you are running, if you are dancing, or if you are playing, or if you are like very busy in doing some physical work, why do we get tired? Why do we get tired? Who will, like, you know that anaerobic respiration can take place in humans also. Anaerobic respiration in humans takes place in humans. Anaerobic respiration in humans takes place also, but only for the short time. It takes place in our muscles when our body undergo vigorous muscular activities, like during heavy exercises, fast running. Muscular cramps may develop as a result of heavy exercise or fast running. In fact, when the muscles respire anaerobically, there is a partial breakdown of glucose and lactic acid is produced. So this accumulation of lactic acid causes muscular cramp. Here you can see when you are doing a lot of exercise, or when you are doing heavy exercise, or you are dancing, or you are running, your body need your body needs a lot of oxygen. Okay, so if the oxygen requirement is not fulfilled at that time, your muscles will switch on to the anaerobic mode of respiration for short time. Okay, so at that time when your muscles start respire anaerobically, you know the product of anaerobic respiration. In absence of oxygen, lactic acid will produce, and this lactic acid will deposit in your muscles, which leads to pain or muscular cramp. Okay, so that's why you feel pain in your muscles. In absence of oxygen, lactic acid is produced. So how you will get relief from the muscular cramp? So you can relieve from the muscular cramp by obtaining, or by taking the hot water bath, or by massage, or by relaxing. As you will do this, circulation of blood in your body is improved, okay, by this act. As the result, the oxygen supply, okay, will continue as it becomes short during the heavy exercise, causing the muscles to respire. Okay, so increase in the supply of oxygen bring about complete breakdown of lactic acid into carbon dioxide and water. Children, that more than half a liter of water per day is lost through breathing. And can you calculate the amount of water lost in the first 6 months of a year? If you lose, exactly half a liter water daily, so this is a discussion topic. We'll discuss this. Okay, so you know that how the anaerobic respirations take place in humans, as when you are doing the heavy exercises. Okay, muscular cramp uh, occur, and how, as your body switch on to the as the oxygen demand of your body is very high, and if it is not fulfilled, then your body will switch on, your muscles will switch on to the anaerobic mode of respiration, and lactic acid will deposit at your muscles, that may lead to pain or sometimes cramps. Here is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. This table I have taken from your book only. So I hope it is visible. So what is aerobic respiration? Aerobic respiration occur in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration in absence of oxygen. So aerobic respiration, food is completely broken down into the carbon dioxide and water. In anaerobic respiration, food is partially broken down in alcohol and carbon dioxide. In aerobic respiration, more energy is produced, whereas in anaerobic respiration, less energy as compared to aerobic respiration is produced. So you can see the overall equation here, food plus oxygen, okay, food or glucose in presence of oxygen, it will lead CO2 plus water plus energy. Energy is uh, quite high, and in anaerobic respiration you can see here the food in absence of oxygen will lead alcohol, carbon dioxide and energy, right? So this will make out the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Let's recap what we have studied. This is recap what we have studied. So we have studied that animals and plants need energy to live and grow. All the animals and plants need energy to live and grow. Food has energy stored in it in the form of chemical energy. So the chemical energy of the food is unlocked in the body cell by the process of respiration. Respiration is of two types, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen, okay, where CO2 and water are released. Anaerobic respiration takes place in absence of oxygen, and the amount of energy released during aerobic respiration is more as compared to anaerobic respiration. That's that's all for today. That's all for today. I'll take the doubt session. I'll take, okay, and we will come up with the next part of this chapter. Thank you so much.